Hello, welcome. I want to share something that has been heavy on my heart, that has been so relevant in a lot of the conversations that I'm having, and something that I think is really, really important for women in business and business owners to continue to grow and remain relevant and succeed and continue to scale. And it's something that not a lot of people are talking about. It's really interesting because we are in this time to where social media has really overthrown everything. And we match this with the pandemic, right? To where everything was online. Everything that was offline even went online. And the online space is a beautiful space. And today, what I'm talking about is I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about one of the things that you need to be doing to further your growth as a business and as a human. But also, I want to talk about a little bit of my beef with the coaching industry. And it's really important, and I will bring this all together for you. So just buckle up, headphones in, and listen. So, first and foremost, it is incredibly important if you have a business and if you are a heart-led, impact-driven leader, as I am and the women that I work with are, it is incredibly important to remember that there is an entire world off of social media. I love this platform. I absolutely am grateful every single day for primarily Instagram, since that is where the majority of my business has come from for, 10 years now, right? But there is this problem that so many women are experiencing in business right now, to where, especially in the coaching industry, and the service-based industries, everything feels super saturated. People have discovered and are really, really understanding that they can be entrepreneurs, that they can create the lives that they want, that they can step into doing what they love and get paid for it. And that's beautiful, and that's the way that it should be, right? But with that, it seems like there is so much resistance and so much frustration in client conversations, or in conversations I'm having in general, with continuing to grow, continuing to be able to get clients coming in, continuing to raise your visibility. And so many people come back to, it's something wrong with me, it's my messaging, it's my copy, it's my marketing, it's the way that the appearance, right? But at the end of the day, what if the answer is not you're the problem, or that you're not saying things correctly? Of course, there's little things that can be tweaked in copy and messaging and all of that kind of stuff, but that is such a small piece of the puzzle, when the reality is you're just not visible enough because you're putting all of your eggs in one basket that is social media. And that means that's regardless of you being on multiple platforms, right? You can be on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm on all the platforms. But if you are only relying on social media as your only form of getting clients and building your business, you're literally missing out on an entire world. And this has become super relevant to me in the last year, as I started CEO Power Hour, as I got back into my local community, started building more relationships, volunteer opportunities. I was just presented and had a meeting this morning with a beautiful opportunity to where I'm going to get to go into the county jail here and speak to the women that are in the addict recovery pod. And while that is, it's a volunteer opportunity, but it is so fulfilling for my heart that, like, I don't care. But on the other side of that, there is the reality of, I just met with two people that are involved in Sarasota County Sheriff's Department. They are going to, people will know me because of this. And so there is this whole element and part of a business and growing a business that I think has been ignored because of social media, because it's essentially been mapped out for us that like, it's so easy. You can just get on this platform and post content and people will come busting down your doors and you can build this dream business. This runs into my beef with the coaching industry in that the marketing going so far into look how much money I'm making and planting the seed of that for people is beautiful because it shows us what's possible, especially as women and becoming wealthy women. But when we go so far into that's what we're leading with, that is not why we started. That is not why the coaching industry was created. And that is not the change that is meant to facilitate the transformations that coaching is supposed to be. So all of that being said, to wrap up my little pieces that as I've gone in different directions here, number one is if you want to continue to have a business that succeeds, you need to open your eyes and get back out into your community. Networking events still exist. You can host your own networking events. I have been pushing my clients to start things in their communities over the last year because I've seen what a difference it has made for me, not just for my income, but for the reality of my heart and what my purpose is and fulfilling my passion. And so if you are running a business and you are putting all of your eggs in one basket because you have an online based business that you are primarily focused only on marketing online, you are missing the foundation of building relationships with other humans in person that can help you. We are and have become so tied to instant gratification, so tied to only doing the things that make us money right now, that we forget the important things that are our foundational pieces are, do people know who you are and what you do around you and in your community? Because that is completely different than somebody opening an app and being able to go into your portal that is your newsfeed or your posts, right? We're talking about real life, real connections. And it is a different level that you move to when you are willing to put yourself in the uncomfortable position of going back out into the world and saying, this is who I am and this is what I do, because it's not just, I'm not here to become Instagram famous. I'm here to facilitate change, to lead a movement, to become something different. Batman's gonna bark. Batman. And so it is incredibly, incredibly important for you to understand that if you are feeling frustrated, if you are trying all the things and feeling like it's not working, if you're doing all the freebies and the lead magnets and teaching the classes, and you have been so focused on building your online based business that your answer probably is to go offline, to start building connections offline, to start being in your community and introducing yourself and showing up in places and living your life and being unafraid of saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I believe in. So with that is really the primary importance of what I want to share with you today, is that as a business owner, if you are not spending time fostering and building relationships, you are missing out of an entire new pathway of revenue for your business, period. And so if you are frustrated, if you are stuck, if you're wondering why things are not growing, if you're not as visible, you're not there yet, why is it not happening for you? It is because every single person on this app is searching for the same thing. People are tired. People are tired of the same boring content. People are tired of the people messaging you, pretending they like your dog so that they can sell you on something. People are tired of that because everybody's done it, and we are all desiring something that is deeper, something that is real. People buy because they like you have similar values, and they know that you can provide them with something that will help them. And so in the marketing of how you're marketing your services, it is okay to make that primarily about who you are, what you believe, what you're teaching, what kind of change you're bringing into the world. If you're only viewing yourself and your business in this tunnel of I'm an online business owner and I build connections online, wonderful. But what about the people who are not primarily online? What about the people who love in person? What about the people who desire to be connected with you? I asked a client yesterday, I said, if you stepped outside of your door and started walking door to door in your neighborhood, would people know who you are or what you do? And I said, I guarantee that you could knock on 10 doors right now and say, this is who I am, this is what I do. And people would be like, wow, I've never heard of that. So it's food for thought for you of like, and this should provide you with inspiration and hope of like, oh my gosh, I've been in this tunnel and there is literally an entire world out there. So I'm encouraging you to get offline. Yesterday, I said to a client, make sure that the energy that you're putting into your online world, you're also putting into your offline world. And that means your personal fulfillment, but that also means your in-person connections. You can go to networking events. You can create your own networking event. You can connect with people who are in similar or different industries and say, hey, I want to come teach a class. There is a variety of ways that you can do this, but it must be prioritized because there is a reason. There is a reason why you haven't seen the growth that you want yet. But if you believe it's possible for you, if you know where you're going and that you want to get there, then I would encourage you to look deeper, to look bigger, to look wider than just this social media platform. I, of course, can help and facilitate in building that with you, but I really think it's important for me to just share that with everybody because it's something that is really, really needed. People want to connect with you. People want relationship building is how successful businesses are built. That's why there is people that pay people to do lead generation on this app because everybody knows that's the base. Everybody knows that. But how are we doing that? Are we doing it from a place of integrity? Are we leading with, I need as many people through my doors for my own satisfaction? Or are we leading with, I have a change that I want to bring the world and I'm going to do whatever it takes? If I had to clear off this app and not have it anymore, as someone who has gotten the majority of my business off this app, I would start knocking door to door and tell people who I am and what I do if that's what I had to do because this is my heart and my calling and my purpose. And so if you don't feel, Batman's gonna bark again. Batman, come on, buddy. If you don't feel the same, if you wouldn't do that, one second. If you wouldn't do that for your business, if you don't believe in yourself and what you do that much, then that has to change. Because that's really what it comes down to is the reason why social media is so easy. The reason why so many people build successful businesses here is because it's easy, because you can be whoever you want on this screen. But if you let people see you If you're in person with people, then they really see who you are. And so are you afraid of being seen? Are you afraid of, if you are big and visible and front and center instead of backstage, are you afraid of how you would be perceived? Because that has to be addressed. If you really want, do you really want the growth that you say you want? Or is there some fear around, I'm going to have to sacrifice something that I don't want to sacrifice in order to see that level of success? I understand this. For a long time with my dreams of traveling and speaking, I know that the reason why that is happening now is because I needed to spend this time subconsciously. What I wanted was to be able to be present with my children, and I'm unwilling to sacrifice one for the other. And so I figured out, how can I do both? And so I understand this. But if you want to build something that is successful, what does success mean to you? What does it look like? And then how are you, your own obstacle, preventing that level of success? For those of you that are watching or listening right now, are you in your community? Are you connecting with people? Are you offline as much as you're online? Are you showing up in spaces and providing your services? And are you unafraid, if you're in the grocery store or somewhere else or getting a massage or whatever you're doing in your day-to-day, to say, this is who I am and this is what I do? If you know anybody, send them my way. Are you afraid of doing that? When you go, I think about this. I think about people who have really big social media followings, right? My other page, if you follow me there, there's like 20,000 followers over there. My husband has like almost 100,000 followers. We've been in places publicly to where people recognize us from social media, but that's because we have bigger followings. And it's like, I don't have the desire to be Instagram famous. What I have the desire to do is actually leave a legacy that matters, to actually be remembered for change that I brought, for things that I did. And so I'm inviting you into a bigger thought of, like, what is your business for you actually? And then are you taking and executing on what's necessary to create that type of change, period. So this is just, again, food for thought for you, that I think is one of the most important things that I believe that you can do to continue to grow your business, is to think about, are you leading with impact? Are you in your community? And are you open to being offline as much as you're open to being online? Answer that. Answer that, because if you can get offline, if you can be in relationship with people, if you can build connections, if people know who you are and what you do, you will succeed. But if you are too afraid of being seen, if you're like, that's hard, if you're like, well, it's just easier to show up on this app and do it this way, of course, do that. But don't forget about the whole world outside of this. Okay? And that's my beef with the coaching industry, is that there has been so much that has been painted as this picture of, it should be easy and it should, you just post. And there's this, I was talking to a client and I was like, what are your expectations when you post an offer or when you post a link for people to buy? Are you holding the expectation that, like, all of a sudden people are just like banging down doors? And it's like, well, yes, of course, because that's what's been shown to us. I will tell you, full transparency, that I have a very successful business that I have been coaching for a very long time, and I will still post things on social media and get 0 responses. It says nothing about me or my abilities or my success. But I think what has been painted for us, and what is frustrating for so many, is we're just like, when is that pop off? What is the thing that I unlock that just has the floodgates open? What if they're already open and you're not seeing them? What if your perception needs to change? So I would invite you to also think about that. My beef with the coaching industry is that we've created it into this overly focused on money, and I believe in creating wealth. I love to help women make money, but I won't lead with that in my marketing. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I believe that when we do that, what happens is then people are signing up with the intent of they make that money so they can teach me how to make that money. And then there is unsaid expectations that are held. So my beef with the coaching industry is it's become more about this small economy of its own of coaches coaching coaches and us continuing like in our own little world. And it's not as much about facilitating actual transformations that coaching was invented for. That's my belief, if I'm being completely transparent. I believe that the coaching industry was created so that we could help people transform. And we all have, as coaches, different ways that we facilitate that change, different modalities that we use, different stories, different experiences, different gifts. But at the end of the day, we're here to create change. And so how are you creating change? How are you capping your potential to be able to create that change? You don't have to be something that you're not. You don't have to lead with marketing. There are so many people that feel defeated because they're like, the only way that I can get clients is if I'm a millionaire and I'm posting about that I'm a millionaire, and that's the only way people will hire me. And we need to take ownership of if we're feeding into those patterns as well. So we get to be different. What if today and moving forward in your business, you choose to market your services from a place of integrity, from a place of passion, from a place of purpose, with the very clear idea of this is the change that I want to bring to the world. This is my gift. This is what I can do. And then we also focus on this whole other beautiful world that is outside of this platform. I hope so much that this has been helpful for you today. I hope it's brought a new set of lenses for you, and that you've been able to see a new perspective and understand that there is more than what is right here, and there is more for you than where you are currently. And there is so much beauty in being able to be in integrity with who we are, and then being fearless enough, or moving and not letting fear stop us enough to go out into the world, to recognize that a lot of us have been given some social anxiety because we've been put in this box of we can do everything online, so we don't need to go outside. And so going outside is hard. And so I don't want to go outside because that's hard. But we need to go outside. If you care about facilitating change, if you care about a legacy, if you care about being well known for your craft and as a leader, it's time to open some different doors. All right. So if you have any questions on this, if you're like, all right, Kelsey, you're calling me out, like you're speaking to me, I am ready. Like I'm on the cusp of a breakthrough. I'm ready to facilitate different change. I'm ready to go out into the world. I want to know what that looks like. I want to know who I need to be able to facilitate that change. That is exactly what I do. It is exactly what I do. It's about us building. What does that look like? What is your roadmap alongside who do you need to be to walk that path? Who do you need to be to execute those steps on the roadmap? It's the both and. It's the beautiful combination of your leadership, your life, being able to facilitate the life that you want while continuing the growth that you want for your business and your personal development. So let me know if you have any questions on that. I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you listening and taking your time out, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Again, just send me a DM. We can talk about different opportunities for us to work together. Right now, I only have 2 private coaching spaces available for the rest of this year. It is a great time. to hire support. It is a great time to hire support because we can plant the seeds, we can create the roadmap, and you can start changing and becoming before the new year. So you don't have to wait, right? And then I also have my retreat in May. And then I also have my community called the Power Society. So there are spaces, there are places for you to be able to plug in. But at the end of the day, you just have to be ready to do things differently and ready to become the next version of yourself. And I can walk with you in doing that. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Let me know what questions you have. My DMs are always open.